Hello.
Hi, Daniel.
Hello. I'm sorry. This is
no problem.
A bit messy agenda today, so I'm sorry.
There are so many things to do and follow.
Oh yeah, and you know, and Joel is giving an excellent talk on the other channel, and I jumped into it and almost forgot about it. So sorry about that. Okay. You probably started a few slides on this?
No, not really, because I did not want to redo the slides I had shown this morning, but I thought it could be interesting to see how well the use case you were showing this morning would work by using PIP, and I thought we could give it a try.
It was just checking. It was a down-to-earth scenario, right?
Yeah.
It's something that happens in every project.
Yeah. So yeah, maybe we can try that, because what I showed this morning is basically how to install Odoo from Git in a virtual environment. And do you see my screen? Yeah, I think
yes,
so.
I see your screen.
And so basically, the idea is to create to start with a requirements.txt file that looks like this. So you import the Odoo dependencies from their requirements.txt.
Can you drag your window a bit down? We have an icon for the. Okay, it's a minus R. Okay, that's great.
That's better. Yeah,
it's much.
And so and then with PIP you can also use Git references directly. And so minimal project for Odoo could.
Okay, so rephrasing here, the first line installs Odoo in your virtual environment.
Yeah, the first two lines it's about Odoo, and then an OCA done from PIP.
Okay, so the first line is the Odoo requirements. I didn't know you could do that in a requirements file. Add the minus R and refer to requirements.txt. So I'm learning.
Yeah, that's an include kind of include mechanism. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. So the other, and you say at 12.5, meaning that if you have a fork, you could easily change that to your fork and your branch inside that fork. So
absolutely, absolutely.
Great.
And we do that all the time. And so basically then you can create you can create your virtual environment, and to do that that's using the venv module, which is standard in Python 3, which then you can activate, and then when your venv is activated, there is oh sorry, there was an existing one. I empty it. So create a virtual environment, you activate it, and then when you have activated, you have minimal stuff that in it. So pip and setup tools basically. And what I always recommend is to upgrade pip wheel and setup tools in your VM. So when you have done that, you have the latest versions of pip and setup tools.
So pip usually warns you about it. Setup tools and wheel doesn't, right?
Yes, but actually pip is evolving much more quickly than setup tools, and so there are interesting new features coming in pip every quarter. And like the last one is that it's doing it's improving the git clone command to be much faster and with large repos.
Yeah, that's a problem with Odoo. If you don't do the shallow clone, it takes forever.
And yeah, exactly. And pip is using this option, filter blob none, since this month actually, which makes it pretty reasonable now to do a git clone. Normally it should finish.
Odoo doesn't have a lot of blobs, right? It does have a long history. That's the Odoo problem. It has
Yeah,
a long history.
I think the block we are talking about here are the Git objects actually.
Okay.
And normally it should finish reasonably fast.
So, okay, you're doing manually the steps you could automate in the requirements. So you were showing the requirements txt. You're now running what's there manually, right?
No, I've just run a pip install of that requirements file simply. So
okay. All right. Yes. We created a file, so this should set up Odoo and install. I didn't pay attention to the last of the lines.
So the last line I launched was basically pip install -r txt.in. Yeah.
Can you display the? What's the .in?
And it's this. It's this.
Okay. Why do you add the .in?
It's a convention because then when you run pip freeze after that, the tradition is to generate the requirement.txt with the frozen requirements.
So this is the input. This is the input and the final.
Input. Okay. Yes, exactly.
Okay.
Exactly. And now it's recompiling this. I'm not sure why, by the way. Which version of Python do I have here?
You were expected to already have a local wheel compiled?
Yeah, I was expecting to have it in cache, and maybe
okay,
no, maybe it's maybe
I've
never installed it for 15 for that specific version. That's very possible.
Yeah, so maybe
this one is a bit slow to compile, but
yeah. Show me the requirements file while it does that. Yeah, so you have the OCA Odoo add-on server. Okay, that's one published from PIP. Okay, maybe you can follow through here while we wait there for that to build, and add the installation of the particular PR.
Yeah. So you tell me the module name.
Yes. Let me. I can tell you the module name. I have things around. So this was on the Odoo days, OCA days 2021 source. So let's start with the stock logistic workflow. And it was the stock restrict lot. Restrict.
So this one is not merged, right?
This one is not merged.
Okay. And so I'm going to get it from Gita in stock logistics workflow.
This is the dependent. Okay, so this is the dependence from the other one, from the sale workflow other one. Would it be automatic if you added the sale workflow? Maybe not. Maybe we need to
if I add, so the main module is what?
Or do add, it's, okay, let me tell you, sale. So it's an interesting example because of that. Okay, I need to go to my slide. Tell you. So it's the sale order lot selection.
And that one is merged? No.
No. Well, it wasn't this morning. Sale order lot selection.
And that one is in
sale workflow.
Sale workflow. And the PR is
1752.
1752. Setup / sale order lot selection.
Tool to generate such URLs.
Yeah, it's a bit long. It's a bit long indeed. But what it does is pretty easy when you understand it. So basically here on this line, we are using a package that is published on PyPI. So, for instance,
Yeah, no, I know. I know if.
I know you know Submodule.
Yeah, no, okay.
For the benefit of other people listening.
Sorry, yeah.
Server. If you look at server environment, this one is published. So we just use the package name. The dash and underscore are equivalent for PIP. But when it's not published, you can tell the package name and then put a git URL with a git reference, so that the PR in this case. And then since there are many actually small Python projects in that repo, you need to tell people where is the root of each project. So
talking about this, Stéphane, sorry, but as you mentioned that lovely trick of having the TUML file into the module, do you think we could start adopting this even if Odoo doesn't include your PR?
Yeah, definitely. It's totally independent.
Yeah,
it's totally independent. And I'll get back to this, I think, early next year. But basically what it will change is that instead of having those setup.py, we will be able to do just this, that is pointing to the add-on itself. So it will be a little bit more intuitive.
Okay, so actually we save only the setup slash. Yeah,
because still in one repo you still have many add-ons, and the point of all this is to consider each add-on as a standalone project from Python. And the other one, Daniel, was?
I'll tell you. So the sale order slot, okay, the other one, the restrict lot, that's a restrict lot. 921. 921.
921 slash add subdirectory English setup slash stock restrict lot. Okay, and so when you have done that, in theory, here I have my Odoo setup as finished. And you see the git clone of Odoo was pretty fast. So that's really a very important feature of the latest PIP version. And you see in the add-on path, since I add this server environment module, I see that I have VN Philip side package Odoo add-ons that has been injected in my add-on path automatically. And that's just because there is an Odoo / add-ons in that directory. How does
that connect to your setup subdirectory? Because so I see a site packages Odoo add-on. Yeah, so those are the Odoo add-ons. What about the other? Well, the other add-ons will be added to the path.
Yeah, the other add-on, I relaunched the install. And so it will say that and so here you see that it's cloning the sale workflow directory.
It's cloning and then running the package from that clone directory.
It's actually building a wheel from that clone directory and installing the wheel.
Okay, if I have my own personal branch with add-ons, non-OCA, how do I make it PIP buildable?
I show you. But you see here,
okay,
it has installed.
I digress. Let's follow.
It has installed the two add-ons. If you look in the site package directory, you see that the two add-ons you have installed are there, and just those, nothing else. And if you do a pip freeze, you see that is getting those same reference basically, except it has replaced the PR reference by the commit hash. And so you have the guarantee that you can reproduce the build with the exact same commit that you used for testing.
So, which is very nice if the PR changes something. What about if the commit gets deleted?
Yeah, for that, and I mentioned that in my talk this morning, it's important that you if you care about that, which you should,
that you pull for the aggregated branch.
The important thing is to actually to push your PR, the PR to a branch you control, on which you can put a tag, a git tag, to be sure that over time it will stay there.
Yeah,
but that's basically true if you are using submodules too, and there with submodules you do that with Git aggregator, which has the feature to clone and push and to your branch. But then also tagging it is important. Yeah.
So yes, what I was saying is make your own fork and deploy from it, right?
Yeah.
So
exactly. And at Axon we still use Git aggregate. We use Git aggregate less and less actually, because with those requirements.txt, it's very rare that we have several PRs on the same add-on, right? And so when you do it like this, you don't need Git aggregator actually for those cases. We still need it for Odoo because we often have several patches to apply to Odoo itself.
But, it's not a big deal if the commit goes away, because your requirements file is pointing at a PR number. So a case where the commit may go away, I don't know, if someone deletes a branch, or I don't know if a force push can make it go away, the commit, maybe it's still there in the database.
It can go away, definitely.
So force push is something that you can do rather frequently on a PR, because you're changing someone. So actually, you should do it to get a single commit pushed into the main history. But anyway, you get the particular commit in the documenting what you downloaded, what you built. But the source requirements txt has the pull request number, not a particular commit. So if you repeat it, you won't have the problem. You get whatever is the latest commit for that PR.
Yes, it depends how much you trust the author of the PR to do the right thing. So that's basically the core of the workflow, and then you pip freeze, and the nice thing too in terms of performance is that when you have something like this, pip is capable of caching those those Git reference which have a commit hash in them. Pip is capable of caching the wheels it has built from those, and then it can then be very fast to reinstall that requirement file, and especially if you don't have the _e, the -e there, it's going to cache the Odoo wheel too, and then you really resolve a lot of performance issue. Also, you have to build and share your dependencies between colleagues.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, imagine the impact on the CI. So we have a large project and with tons of submodules. I mean, just the setup. Beside, of course, the setup of the database for the test takes ages, but also even check it out everything, it's really time consuming.
Yeah, definitely. And to answer your question, Daniel, about making your own add-ons directory compatible with this, so the important part, as you understand, is the setup directory with the setup.py file. And in OCA, those setup.py directories are generated by this hook.
Okay.
So if you put this pre-commit hook in your own project, basically that's all you need to get the setup.py.
There are some adjustments needed for non-OCA projects. There are some checks that should not be there, like OCA being in the authors list. There's some adjustments. Other than that, I think it's a good practice copying this for your project.
Yes, you need to adapt it, but you choose what you want for your
so it's
practice,
there,
of course. But it's there. So the generation of the setup.py, it's just these.
Make sure you have that on your pre-commit and you're good to go.
Yeah, definitely.
Okay. Definitely. I think we're running out of time. We should have a session next. by Virginie. Am I looking at this
You have
right?
time, guys. I'm the next one to, if you want to continue a little bit, it's totally fine for me.
I have to switch to the other room for sharing.
Yes.
So thank you guys.
Okay.
See you.
Okay.
Ciao.
Simone, ciao.
Stéphane, if you could place the essential, like a copy of this requirements file, or maybe a couple of comments somewhere else, maybe in a slide. We could
Actually, it's
publish
only
or-
my presentation of this morning, so
Okay,
you
it's there.
can look it up. I've posted it on Twitter and in Discord, so you can look it up. And
You know,
feel free to ask
I'm
if
going
something
to
is missing.
Yeah, I'm going to suggest to presenters to share links to their presentations and have that updated on the talk description. That would be nice.
Yeah.
While we wait for the videos to be ready to be seen. Okay,
Definitely.
good. I'll sure will play a bit with this and get more familiar with it and compare the workflows.
Okay.
Okay. Thank you so much,
Thank you, Daniel.
Stéphane.
Bye-bye.
Okay, bye.